Good afternoon, all. Jason Smith here with the Keller Williams team, Showcase Miami team in Keller Williams capital, Coral Gables, Florida, Miami. Here to give you an update, another weekly update. Today, we will be focusing on Coral Gables, and we'll show you a video in just a moment. But before I do that, it's been a rainy week or so. We've had some late afternoon thunderstorms, lightning, lots of precipitation, which I'm sure is good for the area. But it's been a wet one the last week or so. What I'd like to tell you today, Coral Gables, what about Coral Gables? It was incorporated in 1925 during the land boom of the 20s. George Merrick was the developer of Coral Gables, and it was a pre-planned Mediterranean style community. Looking here, it basically Mediterranean themed planned community. It's the home of the University of Miami, very well-known institution here in Miami. It's also the home of the Biltmore Hotel, this beautiful, beautiful 1920s hotel in the middle of Coral Gables with a beautiful golf course. It's been a hospital during the war. It's been all kinds of different iterations throughout the years, but today it remains a beautiful golf resort in the middle of Coral Gables. The Basically the price range, if you're looking at a single family house in Coral Gables, which is 7 miles southwest of downtown Miami, the lowest price that you can get currently on the market is 875,000 for a single family home, up to the highest price available right now in Journey's End, which is a gated community, private gated community on the water, is 69.9 million asking price. So it's a wide range for Coral Gables, and it covers quite a large area along the eastern coast of East Coast and a little bit inland, southwest of downtown Miami, 7 miles. Cyrell, could you give us a quick video of the general feel of Coral Gables? There's a listing we had there in Coral Gables, walking distance to this, Miracle Mile, and you've got lots of restaurants, shops, very well known Miracle Mile. It's the center of restaurants and culture for the Coral Gables, I would say. Hillstone, very popular restaurant. There, we just had a peek at the Biltmore Hotel. Here's the Granada Golf Course, walking course, 9 holes. Our listing right there on San Sebastian. Beautiful house. So there you have an idea, a quick snapshot of what Coral Gables. It's much more than that, but that was just wanted to give you a brief visual. So what I'm going to do now is go to our data and show you in different price points, starting at under $1 million for single family, and then going 1 to 2 million, etc. So depending on what price point you're interested in Coral Gables, you'll get an idea of whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. You'll also get perspective on what it's like now versus the same period of time last year, because we want you to be educated and have perspective so that you can make the best decision whether you're selling or whether you're buying in Coral Gables. So let me go ahead here and share our screen, go right over to the MLS in graph format. Again, we're just considering single family homes. Here on the left, you can see it's between 0 and 999,000, under $1 million, that is. And you can see it says Coral Gables. So if you look here between March and May, this is peak buying season for single family, and it goes through till July. You can see that there has been 1.1 months in March. It's a dramatic seller advantage. There's not much inventory under $1 million. In April, even less, not even 1 month, 7/10 of 1 month of inventory, meaning that all the homes for sale under $1 million would sell in about 21 days, 7/10 of a month, if nothing else came on the market. And then in May, less than 1 month of inventory. So dramatic seller advantage. That's why prices have been climbing. We used to see $300,000, $350,000 houses in some parts of Coral Gables. No longer. Now 875, as I mentioned, is the lowest. Now let's compare this to last year, March, April, May of last year. It's pretty much the same as it was. So you haven't seen any shift in the market for under single family in Coral Gables. Pre and post interest rate hike, it's still total seller advantage with prices going up by definition. So you saw last March, half a month, 0.4, last April, 0.9 months, so less than a month. And then last May, 1.2 months. So we could probably figure that out. So let's go to the 1 to 2 million range. If you're looking to buy or sell in Coral Gables, single family, between 1 to 2 million. What's that? What's that snapshot look like? What is is it a seller advantage, buyer advantage? And allow me to remind us, everyone, 6 months is a neutral market where neither the seller nor the buyer has the advantage. So for instance, in this 1 to 2 million graph, you see that in September and October, slowest time of year we've had in the last 14 months, there was 9.2 months of inventory, meaning it would take, I'm going to go here to October. Back in October, there were 55 homes for sale between 1 and 2 million. Based on the 6 homes that were selling in that month, it would take 55 divided by 6. It would take about 9 months to sell those 55 homes if nothing else came on the market. So months of inventory is a really critical indicator to give us an idea of what the trends are. So here we go to last 3 months, March to May. It's ranged between 1 to 1.5 months of inventory, which is a seller advantage. Now, if we compare that to March, April, May of last year, it was even more of a seller advantage last year, but it's pretty much the same. It's still seller advantage. You're a seller in the 1 to 2 million price range in Coral Gables, you definitely have leverage, right? And if you're the buyer, you will be competing against more than one offer, almost guaranteed. So you have to go in strong with your best offer. So now let's look at the next price range up. Let's go to 2 million to 3 million. In Coral Gables, single family only. And here you're seeing, even in the 2 to 3 million, you're seeing 1.7 months seller advantage, significantly less than the 6 months neutral level, 1.8 months in April, and 1.9 months in May. What's worth noting is we always hear the selling season, peak season for single family sales, for condo sales. Here, it bears out in data, in graph format. You're actually seeing it with our own eyes. It's not just conjecture. It really does matter. March, April, May, and then as you start to go into June, July, August, September, last year, you see the inventory dramatically increase, the months of inventory. Why is that? Because there are fewer buyers out there in August, September, October, November, December for single family homes. And you're seeing it here in 8/22 through December 2022. So, but we know right now, seller advantage, how does that compare to last year, March, April, May of last year? Last year was, a little bit stronger, but they're very similar. Seller advantage, both last year and this year. Even if you factor in the increase in interest rates that happened in June of 2022, you saw a little uptick right there, but that's part of that is seasonality, in my opinion, which led to increased months of supply. Again, 6 months is a neutral market, less than 6 months, seller advantage, more than 6 months, buyer advantage or buyer's market. Now let's take a peek here at 3 to 4 million. What does that look like, single family, in Coral Gables only? So last 3 months, in March, it was 4.7 months, which is slight buyer advantage because it's under 6 months. April, as your peak season is really heating up, 2.4 months of inventory, seller advantage. And then May just passed, 5.3 months of inventory based on what's available and based on what's selling, which is just bordering on the neutral market of 6 months. How does that compare in this 3 to 4 million range to last year? Now we're starting to see a difference. March of last year, you had 1.2 months of inventory versus 4.7 today, or this March. Last year is 2.2 months in April. This April, similar, 2.4 months. Last May, 5.5 months. This May, 5.3. So they're very similar. The Gables is hot. The Gables is selling. Compare that to other parts of Miami or Miami in general, you'd see a lot higher in this 3 to 4 million price range. You'd see a lot more months of inventory in other parts of Miami-Dade County. Now we're going to go to 4 million to 5 million if you're in the bracket to sell or buy in that bracket in the Gables single family. This is what the landscape looks like. So 4 to 5. Basically, you have 4.7 months of inventory in March just passed. I'll see you in just a second. Oh. Excuse me right there. Just had a little glitch. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Okay, so 4.7 months of inventory in March just passed. 2.4 months of inventory, again, seller advantage in April just passed. And then May of 2023, you had 5.3, which last month, which is bordering, approaching neutral market. How does that compare to last year? It was 1.2 months, 2.2 months, and 5.5 months. So similar, bit more buyer centric, although it's still under 6 months. This last 3 months versus the same 3 months in 2022. Now we're going to go from 5 million to 6 million. Actually, we'll go 5 million to, let's go to 5 to 10. 5 to 10 million. What does that look like in Coral Gables single family home? What does that market look like? Okay, so in March just passed, it was 4 months of inventory, seller advantage. April just passed 5 months of inventory here on the right-hand side of the screen. And then in May just passed 12 months of inventory. So it quickly went into a buyer advantage in May in the $5 to $10 million range. Worth noting. How does that compare to last year? Now we're starting to see a big delta. It was less than 1 month of inventory between 5 and 10 million in the Gables for single family last year in 2022. Then it inched up to 1.8 months, still a seller advantage, and then 4 months in May, which is a seller advantage back then. So now we're seeing a delta there. Now, what does 10 million and above look like in the Coral Gables single family market with no limit? What are we looking at here? We're looking at 10.5 months, the last 3 months, 10.5 months buyer advantage, 24 months definite buyer advantage, 23 months. So that is what we noted in our last episode that we did on the waterfront homes, 2 million and above on Key Biscayne versus other parts of Miami. In that ultra luxury market, that's where there's buying opportunities. That's where prices are starting. There's downward pricing pressure based on these levels of inventory. Again, contrasting that to March, April, and May of last year, it was 4.7, 11, and 11. So more of a seller advantage, at least in March, and even back then, prior to the interest rate increases that we saw, 11 months of inventory. Makes sense. There's fewer buyers out there that are in the 10 to 20 million range to purchase. So there we have that. And yeah, that's so. If we can be of any assistance to you, if there's any certain neighborhoods or price points that you'd like us to do this type of exercise with, Zyrell and I would be happy to do it. We enjoy doing it. We've been in the business here for 22 years as a real estate agent in Miami full time. So that's what we do. We've got a great team here to assist you on the seller side, on the buyer side, led by myself. And we're the largest company in the world, Keller Williams Realty, with 200,000 agents in over 55 countries. Our website is showcasemiami.com, and we're here to serve you folks. Residential, commercial. We have commercial partners that we work with. Our focus is primarily luxury residential, and we're here to help you. Any price point, whatever you need, rentals, we're here to help. Zyrell, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Jason. And everyone, please don't forget to like or share our video, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified of our next Miami market update. Don't forget to leave a comment and tell us what neighborhood you want us to feature next. Back to you, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, Zyrell. Appreciate it. See you soon, folks. Look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Talk soon.